What's going on, guys? Welcome to another amazing video from Makers Gonna Learn, your ultimate die cutting community. My name is Rachel and I'm here today to teach you guys how to use spiral artwork. This is a video we have seen done time and time again, and I can't wait to share with you all probably the easiest tutorial ever on how to do this. We're gonna take all the complications out of it, give you super simple, easy to understand instructions, and we're gonna apply this beautifully onto a little frame that we have. Now, I wanna let you guys know, if you do not know who we are or what we do, please click the very first link in the description below to see what you are missing by not becoming a member of Makers Gonna Learn. Not only do we have thousands of cut files and hundreds of fonts, but we have access to a member-only Facebook group, free commercial licensing, amazing resources to learn your machine if you're a beginner, and much more. So check us out at the link below. We have seen this spiral artwork blow up on social media, and we are here to create our very own take on it for you guys. We are going to be able to apply this down with some regular black vinyl. We're applying it to an 8x8 frame, and because we want a lot of contrast, I have just put a piece of cardstock in the back of this where the photo would go. So we're going to be able to apply this. You can either apply it straight on the glass or on the paper itself and then place it inside so that it's kind of protected. Whatever you want to do is completely fine. So we do have our frame, it's 8x8, and then we have our vinyl. We have some paper towels as well as our little alcohol pump bottle full of rubbing alcohol. And we have a mat. This is our favorite brand, Nicopa. If you would like to try this brand, I'll have it linked down below. And also I'll link down there that comparison video that Tanner did, sharing with you all a bunch of different mats, and he really put them through the ringer and Nicopa came out on top. So definitely check that video out. We also have our machine. We're using a Maker today, but you can use this with your Silhouette Cameo, your Brother Scan and Cut, the Cricut Air, Explorer Air 2, whatever you have, you can totally use this with. We also have some miscellaneous craft tools like scissors and weeding tools and Cricut True Control knives and things like that. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump online, and I'm going to share with you how you guys can create your very own spiral artwork. Okay, so to create your own spiral artwork, you're going to want to go to this website. This is spiralbetty.com. Now, this is a free website to use, or at least this feature is free. Now, that being said, there is a prompt to donate to the website if you want to. So feel free to do that. However, this is free to use. Now, all that you're going to do is grab a photo. I have one here of me and my husband when we had our engagement pictures taken a long time ago, several years ago. And you can take this off of Facebook. You can send it from your phone. If you do not have a computer like a Mac where you can text yourself a photo, feel free to email it to yourself and then open it up and drag it here from the email. That's a great little hack that we use all the time as well. Now, all we're going to do is take this and drag it right where it needs to go. And at this point is when you can use this kind of toggle down here and zoom in and kind of crop it how you want it. Now I'm going to scooch it down a little bit. I want plenty of detail here, and that looks pretty good to me. So play with that, or play around with that until you like how it is. And once you do, we're going to come down here and click this check mark. Now, it's going to go ahead and create your spiral. Now, one thing I want you guys to note is not to be tempted by all of these fun colors over here. You need to go one to the right of the color that's selected already and click black and white. You want this black and white because this is going to be a cut image, and you don't want your Cricut to have problems whenever you're importing this and having to delete different layers and select and erase. So we're going to keep it super simple today. So make sure it's black and white. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go down here to this toggle again. And what this is going to do is increase or decrease the number of spirals that you have. So if I take this and I go to the left, you can see the number of spirals decreases, but the amount of detail in the image greatly decreases. You can barely tell what that is, if anything. Now, if you go to the right, the number of spirals increases, and so does the detail of the image, as you can see. Now, I'm going to keep this relatively simple, probably around here, because this is not going to be a super large image. This is going to be around 7 inches, maybe a little bit less than that. So again, guys, the smaller it is, the more detailed it is, the longer it's going to take to cut and all that good stuff. So definitely take that into account whenever you choose how many spirals you want, how detailed you want this photo to be. So I love this. This is great. And again, this is free to use. So you can just click this download button, completely free. Again, you can like buy Betty a coffee or something like that. You can get commercial use if you wanted to use this, but since we're just going to be using this for personal use, I'm going to go ahead and click download. And it's going to pop up right down here or wherever you have your computer set to put your downloads. Sometimes they go straight to a folder. You never know. Me personally, I love to put them on my desktop background. I'm a very visual person, so I like to see where it's at all times. I think that it helps. So once you have that downloaded, we're just going to go over to Cricut Design Space. And I have already gotten this one uploaded, but I'm going to share with you how to do this because it's so simple. So you're going to go to upload and click upload image. And now you'll just drag and drop your cut file right here. And since it kind of uploads the way a PNG would, you're going to go all the way down here and click complex. You want this to really recognize all these details. Now I'm going to go up here and zoom out just a little bit so we can kind of see this whole thing. And now we already have select and erase ready to go. That's what our cursor is set to do. So all that we're going to do is click white, a part of the white background up here. So we're going to click it. And as you can see, even the little pieces in my husband and I's faces are transparent. Now this is because it is a spiral, so technically it's all connected, which is really good. It doesn't, it takes much less time. It doesn't mean that we have to go in here and click all the little details and get everything erased. So that's really, really nice. So once you're at this point, you can just click continue. And again, this is going to be a cut image. Our Cricut is going to cut this out. So we're going to go ahead and click upload. And now that it's uploaded, you can just click on it and then click insert image, but ours is already here. So I'll explain kind of what's going on here. So the back, which is this white square here, actually represents our frame. Now it does not represent the entire frame with the actual wooden edges or anything. This is what I like to call the size of my real estate. This is the size that I have to work with. This is the amount of room I have to place my decal, which is, if you couldn't already tell, 7.5 inches. So I want to size my spiral to fit well onto that. So we have our spiral around 6.7 inches. Now it's not a perfect circle, which is totally fine. As you can see, it's like 6.758 by 6.709. So that's totally fine. I think this fits really, really well on our paper. It honestly might be a hair big, but like I mentioned before, with the Cricut cutting this out, it's going to be pretty detailed, and I want to go as big as I can because the larger it is, the easier it's going to be to weed, the easier it's going to be for the Cricut to cut, the less likely it's going to be for the Cricut to shred this. There's a lot of factors that go into this. So try and make it as large as you can. I would definitely not recommend this for, phone cases or little onesies or something like that. Keep this big, okay? So once you have this ready to go, you do not need this back layer here. This was just for visualization purposes. So you can delete it or hide it or whatever you would like to do. Now we're gonna go ahead and click Make It. And as you can see, guys, it's small. So we're gonna go ahead and click Continue. And we're going to be able to connect to our machine and then select our vinyl. We're using premium vinyl here, and we have a relatively new blade. It's only a couple of days old, so I'm going to leave this on default pressure. Do not use fast mode with this, guys. I am begging you, don't use fast mode. So now we'll go ahead and load all of this vinyl into our machine. Alrighty guys, so I have this black vinyl on our mat here, and I was sure to burnish it down really well. I have a pretty good sticky mat here for us today. You want to eliminate all the variables for having a craft fail for this. So make sure you're using a good brand of vinyl, a good strong mat, but not too strong. You guys know what I mean. A mat that's gonna, hold it down well, but not be a bear to try and get up later. So that's what we have done. Our Cricut is ready to go. We're going to load in our mat. And like I mentioned, our blade is relatively new, so it is going to be fine. And I will also mention this will take about 15 minutes to cut. Now, all the other videos that are out there about this, they only say a long time. They don't say how long. And for me, I really want to know, what am I getting myself into? And I'll let you guys know, we did do this. We did a test with this that was 10 inches large. It was 10 by 10. and it took 15 minutes. So this will, I'm gonna just go ahead and guess it's gonna take around the same amount of time. So sit back, relax, and just allow the Cricut to cut. Make sure you're not doing a ton of stuff on your computer if it's hooked up to this. You just really want this to kind of run its course. Make sure there's nothing behind the machine or anything. Just make sure this thing can do its thing and do it well. So once you have it loaded in and you're confident that everything is how it should be, go ahead and press that flashing Cricut button, and we will be back when this is cut. Okay guys, it is cut. And one thing I want to make you all aware of is it took about 10 minutes for this size, and also the Cricut, you know how it'll show you like percentages of how far along it is in its cut? Well, this does not do that. It does not tell you how close it is to being done. It did not do that at all. It was at 0% until it was done, which is really not helpful if you're like me and you want to know how much longer there is in the cut time. So do be aware of that. And now once we've removed that excess, we're going to take our burnishing tool and we're going to burnish this down. Now do so gently because you really don't want to make this pull up anywhere. Although I have to let you guys know burnishing is going to be super important for this project because we don't want any of this pulling up on us. So now once we have burnished, we're going to go ahead and take our weeder tool here. We're going to start on an edge. And let me try to find the bottom here. Okay, I found the very end of it and it's right here. So that's important because that is where it's going to start to spiral. So you're going to hold it like this and then just start pulling. And as you can see, this is what happens. Now, that will happen. That's okay. You go ahead and place this to the side and look and see where your design stopped at. Now I see where it stopped. It's little bitty. So I'll go in here and peel this up, and I found it again. And you'll take it and continue this process. This will happen. And again, guys, I just want to let you guys know the larger your design is, the less this will happen, the less it will pull up on you like that. So just grab your weeding tool and find that again. And just repeat this process. It's a really easy process. Because there's really no weeding involved truly. You just have to make sure that you are not, missing any little areas just like that, which it's going to be easy to do once you get the hang of it after you do it a couple times. So just make sure you're paying attention and you know where you stopped and where you're beginning again, and it will be simple. So guys, I do want to let you guys know this will not take nearly as long when it's larger. Like I mentioned, the first one we did was 10 inches. So the first one we did was really large, and all we had to do was peel it up. It was literally so satisfying. I'll add in a clip of it right here so you guys can see that because it was so satisfying. But when you make it any smaller, it is not going to work out as well. I mean, it'll work out fine. I just mean it's going to take you longer to weed that, which is totally fine if you have the patience. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video was that you also needed transfer tape. But I'm going to go ahead and guess that you guys could have known that we were going to use transfer tape because we're using regular vinyl. So, of course, this will be linked below for you guys. This is our most favorite masking paper transfer tape. I do not know what we would do without this stuff. It is amazing. So, just going to use a little bit of this here. And one thing I want to mention is with designs that are circular like this, I really like to cut my transfer tape like at a circle. I really like to do that once it's off the mat. So now we're going to flip it over, remove this from the mat. Just like so. Beautiful. Now I'm going to flip it over and give it some more burnishing. And then I'm going to take scissors and I'm going to cut all the way around this. I want this to be a circle. This is going to help us place this Perfect. So this is what we want to see. Now we're going to set that to the side and bring in our frame. And I'm going to go ahead and clean this with a paper towel and some rubbing alcohol. If you guys are new, we do this on every project we can because this will remove any dust, dirt, debris. Look at all that. Gross. Oil from our fingertips, any of that stuff that we don't want on our glass that could hinder our vinyl from sticking as well as possible. So we're going to allow that to dry just for a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish again. You can never over burnish, don't forget, guys. This is going to be tricky, I think. So I'm going to take it and start peeling this back. Guys, make sure that you are pressing your transfer tape straight down when you do this. Just like this. This is going to really help everything to stick super well. And if you ever have any trouble along the way, feel free to lay this back down and burnish again. We're going to bring our frame in here. And you're going to lay it right where you want it. Be very careful though. Once you lay it down, that's it. No redos. Once you have it where you want it, start from the center and burnish out. Just like so. Again, you cannot over burnish. And now we're going to take the transfer tape and remove it. And there's our beautiful design. Guys, what do you think? I absolutely love the way this turned out. It is so super cute. I absolutely love the way that this turned out. I hope that you enjoyed the video. This was a super easy, quick way to make this spiral artwork. I love it and I can't wait to put it in my home. I think my husband James is going to be super surprised. This was a super interesting project too. The whole process was really, really easy. The hardest part is maybe taking the time to weed. As long as you're not in a rush making this, it's going to turn out beautiful. I absolutely love it. I will let you guys know, you might have been curious. We always do some research and testing on these videos before we film them. And I decided to film one with HTV. So I created this with HTV. I was going to put it on a canvas embroidery hoop. It was going to be super cute, and it did not go well. Yeah. So if you are curious on if this works with HTV, it does not in my opinion anyways. Now there might be some special cases where people could get it to work, but me personally, I could not get this to work. It was cut at 10 inches. So it was a great size. It weeded beautifully, and it actually transferred quite well too when I was applying the heat and everything like that. The issue came when I was removing the transfer tape. If you guys don't know, HTV comes with built-in transfer tape, which is awesome. However, with the lines as small as this, while the HTV was adhered to the canvas, it was not adhered in enough surface area to be able to be strong enough to stay down as I pulled away the transfer tape. I hope that that makes sense. It was nothing that I did except, I guess, choose HTV. But I heated it down properly, but where the spiral is just such thin little lines, it wasn't enough adhesive binded to that fabric of the canvas to allow me to remove that transfer tape without it peeling back up. So it was not fun. It was a super sad craft fail, especially because I had taken the time to cut it, weed it, and apply it. So it was really devastating, but I wanted to let you guys know that craft fails happen, even to us, a lot. So if you're thinking about doing this with HTV, I personally would advise against it. There might be someone out there who had success with it, and if so, I'm super happy about it. But I was on the verge of burning my HTV just trying to get it down enough for me to remove my transfer tape, and some of it was coming off fine, but when it got to the super thin little fine lines, it was not going well. So I would not recommend it personally. But if you want to use this with vinyl, regular vinyl, it went well, as you guys saw today. I really enjoyed using this, and I can't wait to see what you guys do with your spiral artwork. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe and ring that bell to get notified of all the amazing content that we like to give you guys for free on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to click the very first link in the description below to see what you're missing by not being a member of Makers Gonna Learn. We have a ton of fun over there, and we would love you to join the over 13,000 amazing members that we have. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.